In this video, we'll look at adding and subtracting fractions. Our first fraction is 3/4, and our second fraction is 7/9, and we're going to add them together. In order to add or subtract, you need to have a common denominator. Not necessary for multiplying and dividing, but it is for adding or subtracting. So we need something that 4 goes into, that 9 also goes into. That is, we need a number that divides by 4 and divides by 9. There are different tricks of how to get it, but the simplest way, if you can't figure it out just quickly by looking at it, is just to take a calculator and go, what's 4 times 9? Or in your head, what's 4 times 9? 36. I know 36 has to divide by 4 and by 9 because I made it by multiplying. So my common denominator is going to be 36 for both new fractions. Put a plus in the middle. So how do you get from 4 to 36? You times by 9. That is, I get from 4 to 36 mathematically by timesing by 9. So too should I times the top by 9. What's 3 times 9? 27. Now I've made this fraction into a denominator out of 36. I need to do the same with the second fraction. I need to make a 9 into a 36 by multiplying. 9 times what makes 36? I already know because I'm the one who picked 36. I know it's 9 times 4. If it's 9 times 4 on the bottom, I have to times by 4 on the top as well. So what's 7 times 4? 28. First step was get the common denominator. Then we made sure the numerators got multiplied by the same thing. 9 times 4 was 36, so 7 times 4 is 28. Now that we have a common denominator, we can add them together. Only when we have a common denominator can we add together. The denominator stays the same. You never add the denominator. 27 36ths plus 28 36ths. We just add what's on top, and we get 55 36ths. And we're done. The only thing to make sure, though, is that nothing goes into the top that goes into the bottom. That is, that we can't reduce or put it in lowest terms. What goes into 55? Only 5, which doesn't go into 36, and 11, which also doesn't go into 36. So we're done. We've added two fractions together by doing common denominator, doing the same multiplication to the numerators, and adding the numerators together. Question 2, we're subtracting fractions, but you'll notice we have a normal fraction, or just a regular fraction, 6 out of 7, minus a mixed fraction, 2 1/4. So the first thing we're going to want to do is change that mixed fraction, 2 1/4, to an improper fraction. If we have two wholes, we're going to go 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1, that meant we had 9/4. And think about that, go backwards to check. If we have 9/4, that means we have 2 wholes and 1/4 left over. So we're good now. We've got a mixed fraction now as an improper fraction. Second step, same as before. When adding or subtracting fractions, we need a common denominator. So what does 7 go into? That 4 also goes into. That is, what divides by 7? That divides by 4. If I don't know, if I can't think of something easy or can't see it, just 7 times 4, 28. So I'm going to have a denominator of 28 here and a denominator of 28 here. This time there's a minus in the middle. How do you get from 7 to 28? You times by 4. So we need to make sure the numerator gets times by 4 as well. That's 24. How do you get from 4 to 28? Times by 7. So let's times the numerator by 7 as well. We get 63. So we have 24 out of 28 minus 63 out of 28. When you're subtracting fractions, just like adding fractions, the numerator is what's going to be added, or in this case subtracted. The denominator stays the same. So we'll pull out our calculator. Numerator 24 minus numerator 63 is negative 39. And once again, we're done unless we can reduce. Does anything go into 39? Well, only 3 and 13. And those don't go into 28. Or you can look the other way. The only things that divide 28 are, well, 2, but that doesn't divide 39. 4, but that doesn't divide 39. 7, that doesn't divide 39. And 14. So we're done. We added and subtracted fractions by first getting our common denominator, then adjusting the numerators to be the same. That is, that they corresponded to whatever we multiplied to get the common denominator. We multiplied the same on top. Finally, we added or subtracted just the numerator, and then check to make sure our final fraction was in lowest terms.